What's going on, everyone? This is Eric coming at you from just outside of Hartford, Connecticut. And today, this is going to be an update stream for what the channel is going to be doing for the rest of April through the month of May. So, of course, dates are always subject to change. If you're curious about that, check out the Twitter. I am active on Twitter. And when some video goes out, I always post about it. If something changes, I always post about it. But without further ado, I'm going to jump right in and just kind of get a little story out of the way here. So, back in February, I don't know if I ever said anything about it, but I did kind of aggravate my foot, and it's been it got better, and then I re-aggravated the injury earlier this month. So I ended up seeing a doctor, and I've been ordered to stay home for at minimum 2 weeks, but my job's kind of like, tell you what, we'll do 2.5 weeks. I'm like, okay, that's fine. And then I'm going to be eased back into action there, so I'm probably going to have a lot of spare time on my hands. And one thing I love to do with my spare time is do research for HartLandSportz. I love this channel. I love doing everything because what I do is I get to learn a lot myself. So I don't really consider this a job. It's just a great hobby. I love it. But basically, I'm stuck at home for, at minimum 2.5 weeks, probably looking at over this next month, I'm probably going to be stuck at home for 27 days, 26, 27 days. So I'm very happy to be doing stuff like this. And what I've been doing, even like yesterday, I did some research for a upcoming player bio. So, I'm starting to work on the player bio series. But other than the player bio series, I have a lot of things coming up for the player bio series, I should say. So, I have an older football player who I was just able to research completely yesterday. The couple of days before that, I actually looked at a older MLB figure who isn't a player, and I got through his player bio. It took me longer than the football player. I'm not going to reveal names yet. That'll come up when I have a specific date for those videos to come out. But yeah, I'm definitely, if you look at this channel, you'll see I have player bios going up now. We had one for the longest time when on July 1st of last year, we put up Bobby Manila. Since then, I think in the past month and a half, I've put up 3 of them. And 2 of them have come up in the past just over a week. Of course, we had Jackie Robinson, and then we had Ricky Williams. So I'm starting to focus on the channel on the player bio series. It's something that I'm always excited to do. I have a lot of names. If you have a recommendation for a player bio, please leave it in the comments below. I would love to look at it. I might actually have that person in queue. I'm not going to really be focusing too much on a lot of like soccer players or football if you're outside the United States. That's just not necessarily my sport. But if it gets enough people interested in it, I will do someone like Ronaldo or Lionel Messi. I'm fine with that. Tomas Muller, people who are big names. Because remember, I will be following the FIFA World Cup. So, yeah, player bios, though, they're mostly going to focus on NHL, NFL, and MLB players, and, of course, figures in those sports as well. I will be looking at some Olympians as well. We'll be looking at some NBA players. So anything that has to do with sports, even someone like Tony Hawk, I could definitely do a player bio on in the future. But that's player bios. Trade breakdowns. So I'm sure you've noticed that we're kind of starting to switch to more NHL trade breakdowns coming out. I am doing some research for a few more MLB ones, but I really went through a craze where I got a lot of MLB ones up. I'm kind of delaying NFL ones for a little bit. You'll hear why in a few minutes, but so I do have a good amount of NFL ones ready to go. I do have a good amount of NHL ones ready to go. I'm kind of putting out some older trades for the NHL just because I'm waiting for the season to come to an end so I can, complete the 2021 stats and go, all right, this is how this guy did in 2021 for his team. This is what happened with this guy. So yeah, I do have a NBA trade breakdown that I'm going to be doing too in a little bit. It's the James Harden one. So I'm going to focus on the original trade, and I'm going to put a footnote for the secondary one, the one where he got traded to the Nets. That's way too new for me. I don't want to go into that one. It's just I can't justify it. But that's going to be the one NBA trade breakdown. If you guys are interested in another one, please let me know. Now, there are going to be some trades I cannot do. And I will have a video at some point going out, and I'll kind of discuss why certain trades I can't do and why I can't do them. And, you'll see it's mostly older trades, and there are going to be some newer trades in there that I'll just say I can't do them yet just because they're so new. But time will tell for some of these newer trades. So it's going to be nice. I'm looking forward to it. The future for the trade breakdown series is kind of diminishing because I can't, like I said, I can't go out there and do 50 videos more of baseball because then I'm going to really be reaching. But it's going to be nice. I'm looking forward to it. I know hockey might not be the best sport for people, but that's why I'm going to try. I'm kind of holding on to the football ones too, so I can mix and match and do like 2 hockey, a football, throw in a baseball, do another couple hockey, do the NBA one. But what I'm trying to do too is I'm trying to shorten these videos because I've noticed a lot of the longer videos don't get the views, especially for trade breakdowns. And I understand that. I get it. It's no fun to watch a 20-minute video. If I could break it up into, 4 or 5-minute segments, that makes a lot more sense. It's easier to watch. It's easier to follow than jumping around the screen the whole time. But yeah, that's where we're at for trade breakdowns. Another type of video I've been looking at, like I said, history ofs. I'll get to those again in a little bit. I'm kind of delaying. They take a lot of time to do a history of video. I do have one ready to go. And I'll probably put that video up when the NHL season ends because it is a hockey one. So I'm going to start focusing a bit on some MLB teams. It's just, as you know, I got through the American League, so now I'm on the National League. The National League was where baseball began. So it's going to take time to do the National League teams. Even like some of the newer ones, actually, of course, the Diamondbacks who are like the mid-90s, they're all going to be relatively old. Like I think the Padres are founded in the 60s. Other than that, everyone else is really an older team. Like Cubs, Phillies, Braves, Dodgers, Giants. These are all teams that were founded like the 1880s. So they're going to take a lot of time to do those videos. So of course I am going to start NFL soon. Hopefully the sooner the better. But that series is temporarily on like a slight hiatus. It will be back. Don't worry. I love those videos. I just want to take some time off, focus on player bios, and they're quicker to type up. They take less time to research. So, yeah. Other videos, of course. So the players drafted before series is going to get a slight revival. I will discuss that one in a little bit. I just wanted to touch that one, touch that type of video right now, mention it. Don't worry, it will get revived very soon. It's one of those types of videos so that I can't do like hundreds of because what am I going to do? Am I going to find like some random guy who was a one-time Pro Bowler and say, oh, yeah, this guy, he went in the second round. Who were the 32 players drafted before him? No, it doesn't matter. Like, it's not the same thing. It's not the same impact as a Mike Trout, Tom Brady, Steph Curry type of thing. So, other than that, there are some other series I've been kind of looking at. So you'll notice I am doing my standings updates periodically. I'm not going to do it weekly for baseball. I'm going to kind of try to space it out like I did for hockey, where I split it into quarters. I will be putting out a playoff prediction video for hockey soon. I hoped to have it out sooner rather than later, but we'll see. For the Rant series, that one's another one that I'm kind of taking it easy on. I'll eventually start working on the Rant series a bit more, but I'm basically almost done with football. Once I'm done with football, then it's down to baseball. So it's not the end of the world. I will probably start doing player rants at some point, why I can't stand X player. And I know that even Patrick was talking about coming back to do a couple of those with me, because I know there are some players that he can't stand in the NHL in particular. So, there are guys I can't stand either, so it'd be kind of like a joint thing between myself and him. So it will be nice to have him back for a couple videos here and there. Another thing that I said is there's other series that I'm looking forward to. One of them is like the Whatever Happened To series. I haven't done much with that. It is still in my mind. I've been kind of looking into it, but I haven't done anything with it yet. Another series is a Rivalry series. So that one's going to be one that I started doing minimal research in, but I'm going to, it's one of those things that I think I'm going to start diving into during these next couple of weeks. And it, of course, has teams like the Yankees and the Red Sox, or the Eagles and the Cowboys, for example. Big rivalries that everybody knows. I'll even find some older ones. I'll find some newer ones, just because I want to be able to kind of go out there and reach around and get multiple different groups together. I'll try to do it for the 3 sports I follow the most. If something big comes up for soccer or basketball, I'll look into it. But it's one of those things that I'm not going to really do. Now, NASCAR videos are something that I will start to kind of go out and discuss in the future. But right now, I'm not going to do NASCAR videos. I know NASCAR is a completely different clientele. I know that when we previously did NASCAR videos, people weren't exactly keen to watch them, so I understand that. But as I get into the sport, I'm kind of enjoying it, so we'll get into NASCAR at some point, just not right now, and it will never be the front part of this channel. The front part of this channel is always going to be baseball and football, and then with hockey as like the secondary source, NASCAR would be at most like the fourth or the fifth most discussed sport. Anyway, other than that, so what I want to discuss is there's two things that are coming up specifically that I want to look at. So the month of May is going to be, occasional player bios, occasional trade breakdowns for hockey, for a couple for football. There's going to be a baseball trade breakdown I'm going to put up in the beginning of the month of May. I'm just waiting for April to come to an end so I can update the wars through the month of April. It is still a relatively newer trade. Not the newest trade, but it's one that I did some research on it and then I completely forgot about it. And then I went, oh, shoot, I got to do it, but I want to wait till the month of May's over or the month of April's over. But yeah, that's where we're at with that. And just keep your eyes open. There's going to be a couple rants coming out in the month of May. They're going to be football related. So, I want to get the last 3 football rants out of the way. It's, of course, the Washington football team, the Dallas Cowboys, and the New Orleans Saints are the only 3 that haven't been released yet. So I already have recorded one of the 3, and it's going to be put out in a couple of weeks. But other than that, I got to do my research for the other 2. So it'll be nice. I'm looking forward to it. But anyway, the 2 big things I want to talk about. So for this upcoming week, the week of today's the 22nd, the week of April 25th to May 1st, what I'm going to be doing is it's going to be NFL draft week. I'm happy to announce this. So I mentioned before, if you follow the Twitter, that I'm not going to be doing a live stream during the first round of the draft. I did it last year. It was 4.5 hours. I lost my voice towards the end of it. And it wasn't the same thing because I'm kind of like running around. It's like, okay, who's this guy? I don't know enough about this guy. Why is this team picking this position? I don't understand that. But what I'm going to do is we're going to go day by day in that week, and I'm going to have a video going out each day during that week. So I already have a couple of them recorded. They're already pre-programmed to go out on certain days. So what I have is I'm going to have 4 NFL draft videos, like just regular breakdowns that happened during the draft, just kind of like the paddings for this week. It's going to be the Troy Polamalu one's going to come out on Sunday. Then I have Vince Wilfork coming out on Tuesday. I have Bob Sanders coming out on Wednesday. And then I have Michael Orr coming out on Saturday. Now, Orr is, of course, the guy from the Blind Side movie. So he's an interesting player in and of himself. And, of course, the other 3 are big-name staples on defense for the 2000s into the early 2010s. Definitely, Polamalu's a Hall of Famer. The other 2, you can make a case for them both, but neither of them are actually Hall of Famers. So it'll be nice. The other 3 videos for that week. So on Monday, I'm going to be, like I said before, we're going to get back to the Players Drafted Before series. That series is going to be revived. I'm going to discuss the Players Drafted Before Aaron Rodgers back in the 2005 draft. This is another series. This is another topic that I had in my mind for a while. And I started doing research on it in December, and I'm like, you know what? Why don't I push it off till the NFL draft week, and we'll make like a big thing out of it. So that one's going to be a longer video, but I'll do like I did with the other videos. I'll kind of have timestamps in the description, so you can kind of see, hey, I'm an Eagles fan. Who did the Eagles pick before Rodgers? You'll look through and you'll see they didn't pick anyone. You'll go, oh, okay. Cool. I'll just kind of click around and see, hey, the Cowboys had 2 picks. Who did the Cowboys pick? 1 and 2, and you'll see how those guys did. So it'll be exciting. And then, of course, during the draft day itself on that Thursday, I'm going to, ideally, I was going to write down on the whiteboard and write down teams' needs and everything, but I might just have to live stream it instead. We'll have to see how I'm feeling. And I'll discuss what teams need. I'll discuss who holds which pick. And we'll kind of go into that. We'll go, okay, this is what teams need. And then, of course, I'll look at the teams who do not hold a first-round selection as of when I start recording. And I'll say, okay, this team needs this, but their earliest pick is going to be this. Like the Texans, for example, they don't pick until the 3rd round, so they're going to be a tough one. But other than that, and then on Friday, I'm going to recap the first round of the draft. So I'll probably post that video sooner rather than later in the morning. And I'm just going to kind of go out there and I'm going to go, okay, so the first overall pick was, as we expected, Trevor Lawrence to the Jaguars. Second overall pick was Zach Wilson to the Jets, expected picks. And then the third overall picks where it's going to get fun. So I don't know who the 49ers are going to go with. There's been a lot of talk, but we'll get to that when we get to that. So, yeah. Now, the last thing I want to talk about for this video is in the month of July, I'm going to be taking a trip. So last year, if you remember, I went to New Hampshire Speedway for my first NASCAR race. I loved it, and I'm going to be going again. This time, Patrick and myself are going. So we'll be going with a few other people as well. So I'll be putting up a couple of videos, and we might have like a joint collaboration. I'll have to see with another guy who's going. He's a YouTuber himself, and if he and I decide we want to, kind of have a joint collaboration, we will do that, and we'll kind of, at that point, when we get closer, we'll start talking about it. I'll have a video come out in the beginning of July if that's the case, but we'll have to see how things go. I'll do like I did this past time, where I'll kind of go out there and I will, record a couple of things here, a couple of things there. I'll record like the final laps of X stage 1, stage 2 victory celebrations, minor things like that. If I get a crash on the camera, that'll be even better, but we'll have to see how things go. The other thing that I'm going to be doing, hopefully, this has been in talks between myself and Patrick. We are talking about going to Cooperstown, which is, of course, the Baseball Hall of Fame. It's going to be a little difficult, but we hopefully will be able to do it. Of course, we're based just, outside of Hartford, so it's not too far of a trip. It's going to be like a 3.5, 4-hour trip for us, but that's fine. It's going to be exciting to go there. And if I do that, I'm going to take a lot of videos. I'm going to discuss a lot of players, look at some of the players that are there, and, we'll see what I do, but it'll be exciting to go there if we can actually go there. I'm looking forward to the potential, especially now. I'll be going as an adult. I've done a lot of research. I know who a lot of the guys are now. Like, for example, when I was a kid, if I would have saw, Branch Rickey in the Hall of Fame, I would have said, Branch, what kind of name is that? Now I, kind of nod my head at him. I say that, this guy, he did a lot. He helped develop farm systems. He really helped the Cardinals develop a farm system. And then, of course, he was the man who signed Jackie Robinson and then got him to the big leagues. So there's a lot of things to go to, a lot of different sites to talk about at Cooperstown. So hopefully my leg feels better by then. We'll have to see how things are going. But yeah, I know this was a bit longer than I expected it to be, but there's just a lot to talk about for the future of the channel. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope this answered some questions. And like I said, quick recap here. Trade breakdown series will be continuing. Rant series will be continuing. But the Rant series and trade breakdown, specifically the Rant series, is going to be kind of stretched out for a little bit. I want to kind of hold off on baseball while baseball is happening. The football 3 should be coming out soon. So there's that. The Players Drafted Before series will be restarting again, but that one's going to be one of the tougher ones where I can't really keep doing videos for that playlist just because it's tough to do that. I don't want to reach for topics. There's that rivalry segment, which we're going to get to in the future. We'll have to see how I'm going to do that. That's going to be the big thing. I'm trying to figure out how I want to discuss those teams, how I want to discuss the rivalries. If I just want to go out there and kind of say, hey, this team has won X meetings, this team has won X meetings. Why are rivals? We'll have to look into that. But yeah, it's going to be exciting to keep putting out content for you guys. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it was a longer update stream, but yeah. Have a good rest of your day.